Is Ted calling in? Do we have a couple of minutes before the next break to welcome Ted?
Good morning, Ted.
Well, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning, Ted. We always end up running a little late when we've got you as a guest. I don't know how that happens.
I don't know. We'll make it work.
Yeah. Well, Ted, it is always so much fun to talk to you because you're always full of stories. And last time we had you on, we talked about your book.
Yep.
Tell us the title of your book, Ted.
Well, the 20 Mule Team of Death Valley.
Right. And published by Arcadia Press. And we had a wonderful time last time talking about mules and such. And what's been going on in your life since we had that conversation about mules?
Well, you know, Bobby, the mules are always a constant part of my life. I can't quite get away from them.
Various forms or another.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Non-horse and non-mule people don't realize there is a little difference between a mule and a horse, and there's even a difference in their bridles for a reason.
Well,
we won't tell them what that reason is.
Right.
They can figure it out themselves.
That's exactly right. Well, by the way, speaking of mules, the 20 Mule Team will be in Boron the first weekend in October for 20 Mule Team Days.
Oh, in Boron.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, okay. And that's the first weekend in October?
Right.
And will you be there with them?
Oh, yeah, we'll be there.
Well, somebody has to be with them.
Well, yeah, somebody has to babysit those 20
As
mules.
great as they are, they need a human leader. Right?
That's exactly
Okay, that is great to know, but
Yep.
I want to know.
Yes.
I want to know what you're doing at the end of the month, Ted, because this is do tell. We're all interested.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to tell you, when I started doing documentaries on the desert, I started out doing the real history. You know, the story of the prospectors, the story of the railroads, and the story of people who sort of met their end in the desert, and the 20 Mule Team, and did an entire series on, you know, those stories of the desert and Death Valley. But as I was researching those stories, there was always, especially in regard to Death Valley, there was always the strange story that would be right next to it. There was always the story of the prospector, but then there was the story of the prospector who found an opening to an ancient civilization under the mountains of Death Valley.
Okay, that is where we are going to take a break. So, yeah, don't touch that dial. It's more with Ted Fay and Weird Tales on your hometown station.
9:40 in the morning.
I just wanted to give you a little heads up before we have a little more information on our guest that's on the line. And it's the historical, this is a press release, Historical Society of the Upper Mojave Desert holds its first ever, I love it, it's always the most fun, Weird Tales Festival, September 27, 28, 2013. So there's lost treasures, ghosts, unexplained phenomena will fill the bill over the September 27-28 weekend in Ridgecrest, California. As participants hear stories, talk with treasure hunters, interact with paranormal investigators, and join in a treasure hunt in Ridgecrest, Balsam District. How fun is this?
And Ted is on the line.
Ted is on the line. Ted, you can tell us more about it, but I just had to get that out there.
How did you think that up, Ted?
How did you guys?
Amazing.
Yeah, how did you guys come up with this concept? It's just much fun.
Well, I got to tell you, it actually, well, the festival came out of a couple of things, but the notion that there could even be a festival called Weird Tales really came out of the series that we've been doing. We're up to episode 6 now in our documentary series called Weird Tales. And that's the whole point, is to cover the stranger side of the desert. And like I say, before we went to the break, the episode 1,
the stranger side of the desert has spoken.
Yeah,
go on, Ted. Ted, did a UFO just
Ted, are you there?
land?
Yes, I haven't been abducted yet. I haven't been abducted yet. But
That was just creepy.
Hey, we lost the last probably sentence or two that you shared. Ted, go back a bit.
oh wait, what happened? What did you lose? Okay, well let me go back. Okay, so
Your series.
Yes, the series.
Number 6.
Yes, we're up to episode 6.
Let's talk about number 6.
Let's talk about number 6. Episode 6 is really interesting because this again is one of those stories I heard while we were doing the real history, and there was always this persistent story that underneath the Mojave Desert on the California-Nevada border was an underground river, a river about 3,000 feet deep, and along its banks was black sand laden with gold.
Oh.
Now look. This wouldn't be so far-fetched if a guy by the name of Earl Dorr back in 1927 hadn't found it himself, and then in 1934 actually signed a sworn affidavit describing the caverns that he entered in pretty good detail. And then he signed that affidavit, and I got to tell you, what happened since he signed that affidavit in 1934 is nothing less than a sort of unreported, unknown, and an interesting phenomena that over the last 80 years or so, people have been out there persistently drilling, digging, tunneling, and looking for this lost river of gold.
But not finding it, so no one else has found it.
Julie's got a shovel. She'll go over there.
Like the lost Dutchman mine.
Exactly.
Well, it's amazing, but the interesting thing is that we've talked to folks that have spent 30, 40 years of their lives looking for this, and the journey that these folks go through is really interesting. One of our main guys, Ralph, he started out in 1979 looking for it, and when it became apparent that they weren't finding it so fast, he sort of went on another quest, and he began to research the thing. Well, it goes all the way back to the Indians and even further, this whole story. And what he's done moving forward is he says, look, there's something to it. There probably is some big cavern somewhere, but just because this guy signed an affidavit and told us where to look doesn't mean that's where it is. In fact, if he found such a thing, he probably signed an affidavit telling you where to look because that's not where it is.
True.
That being said,
Hold that thought.
All right.
We have one more break and we'll wrap it up with you. It's 9:51 Around the Barn with Heads Up on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Welcome back to Around the Barn with Heads Up on Santa Claria's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We are just running so out of time. I'm Bobby here with Nancy and Julie and our guest Tremond, and on the phone, Ted Fay.
Hey.
Ted, hey. Gosh, we're down to the wire. Please take a few moments and tell us how people can find more information.
Yep.
And what your web address is.
All right, here we go. Two things. The world premiere of Weird Tales 6, The Desert's Lost River of Gold, will be September 27th at a premiere dinner in Ridgecrest, and then September 28th, which is more of a public thing, but the public can come to either one. You can find out information at www.weirdtalesfestival.com. We have our own website, weirdtalesfestival.com. For any of the Weird Tales series that anybody would like to purchase, you can go to goldcreekfilms.com. So this story is really, really cool. It's got so many dimensions to it, even to the point where people think that the underground river is a passageway for aliens to land their spaceships and show up in the various bases.
Wow.
I am a Alien Show fan, but I am drooling over waiting to get your books out.
And again, Nancy's not an alien, just so you know.
I know some of the other guests in reading the press release. W.C. Jameson, who's an award-winning author and nationally and internationally known as a treasure hunter,
Yes.
is another guest that weekend. And he was a consultant on the movie National Treasure, I think is what I read.
Yes. He is. He's really a well-known treasure hunter himself, and he's out of Austin, Texas. We're flying him in for the event.
Just amazing. What a fun weekend, Ted. You just always have great new information to share with us, and we just always run out of time.
I know. We need to do it again.
We will.
Okay.
In the area, Ted, stop by and look at it in the studio.
Yeah, we need to have you here live in the studio, Ted. Then you'd have all the time.
Hey, let's do that.
People
Love to.
wanting more. Yeah, that's people wanting more. So,
Julie
thank you.
Julie and I are going to rent a shovel and
we'll
get out
be
to
out
the desert.
Come on out.
Yeah.
Yep. Come on out there. It's not, they always keep saying it's only 2 more feet.
Yeah. time this morning. Have a great holiday weekend, and we'll catch up with you again soon. I'll contact you with some dates.
All right, you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
And again, I want to thank the